First of all, just to say hi, absolutely amazing to have you for the FADER interview series.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for interviewing me, taking the time. So yeah, we're gonna get into it.
So obviously for the first question, we can kind of talk about obviously your newest mixtape, Ho, Why Is He Here? It's got an amazing response so far. I've seen, City Girls sharing it, Cardi B, Rico Nasty, been so popular. So how are you feeling about the success of the mixtape and the response you've had online so far?
It feels good. Like honestly, I didn't expect it to do like what it did. So it was actually like fun to watch and see so many people who've been watching me or just like getting onto my music. It was dope to see. Like one dope ass co-sign I got was from Missy Elliott, and I just thought that was such an accomplishment, being that like that's my first mixtape and somebody so huge was commenting on it. So I think that's dope.
Yeah.
All the love was definitely appreciated. So yeah.
Hearing the mixtape, listening to it back, I was saying that it really feels like an album, like quite a strong body of work. I've seen you mention before that in the party, the intro, are actually songs that you made earlier in your career. So I kind of get the sense that you like to take a lot of time on your work. So I wanted to find more about your song making process and what it's like for you. How does it go from your head to the finished track?
I just have to be in love with it. Like I'm the type that listen to like every detail and shit. So I do take my time. But some stuff, I fly through. It just depends on how serious I am about it or what the topic is for real. But like majority of those songs kind of got finished like right before I dropped the tape. So it just depends on how my work ethic is about the certain songs that I'm writing. Cause I just like to be versatile. And the reason why it probably came off as like an album was because I took my time on everything. So, yeah.
So one of the things I really like about the mixtape as well is the production. And, I think the beat selection is really interesting. Songs like May I know you've got versatile production there. And then obviously you're flipping other people's songs as well, like Beef, that sort of thing. And then you work with Jay White a lot. So how do you select your beats and go about finding producers or, people who fit your sound?
I don't know. Like, I just be explaining what type of vibe I'm going for. So, and most of my beats, a lot of people don't know, like, they came from YouTube. So it's just really what I'm feeling. Like, if I'm in the mood to turn up and get lit, like, I want to hear some trap, playful shit.
Yeah.
But if I want to be on some, like, weak shit, like how I wrote Weak or whatever, then I just, I let the producer know whatever I'm feeling and they just cook up. And yeah.
Yeah, so your songs have done really well on TikTok and social media. What do you think it is about your music that's given it this kind of, consistently viral quality?
I'm trendy. So like a lot of the shit that I say, I think people just kind of gravitate to. And I say a lot of stuff that people may not be able to think of. Like I'm very creative. So like even with like in the party, like dick stuff when I stuff, like nobody's starting a song like that. So I think that's why people gravitate towards that shit and they like shit that make them dance, move and get lit and feel good. So I think that's why.
I kind of want to talk about your music videos, and I believe you've just come out with a new video, a combo video for Send the Addy and May I, which, looks fantastic, of course. So I was wondering, how do you come up with the concepts? Is there like a team you usually work with?
Yeah, like normally like they ask me like what direction I want to go and I'll give them my ideas and then like they'll come with their ideas and stuff and we kind of collaborate like that. So I get in good with the director and make sure we like eye to eye with what I'm trying to accomplish in. But I always keep like a mentality that I want to get better and better every single video. Like I want something different every time because that's just what an artist is all about. Like you want to be able to reinvent yourself, elevate every single time. So that's really how I look at it for real.
I guess in line with your videos as well, one of the things, fans really love you for is definitely your styling and your look. So, you're really confident in your image and who you are. And, being in the public eye and facing, the scrutiny that Black, women artists face, especially darker skinned women, how do you stay true to that confidence or navigate that scrutiny?
Okay, so when it comes to society and like their standards and shit like that, I don't believe in that. Like I don't tie beauty to a skin tone, so I've never been insecure about my skin color. And I think it never became an issue to me until I got famous, and like now that people bring it to light, I'm like, whoa, like that's really a thing. Like, and I didn't really come to terms with it until I got older. Cause my mom is light skinned, my dad is like lighter than me. I didn't really feel, they never made me feel less than what I am, you know? So I just really always been confident. So I guess with other darker girls, with them looking up to me, that makes me even more confident. So it's just really just knowing yourself and not really going by society standards, because if you think like society, you'll be like everybody else. And I don't think I'm like everybody else. So I just keep staying true to what I came up on and how I was raised and shit. And I was raised to treat everybody equal, and you need to think you the shit. So
yeah, amazing. So kind of off the back of that, you know, being a young woman in the media and in that kind of spotlight, we see artists, you know, having people look into your personal life in a lot of ways. How do you manage being a public facing person in an age where fans are very close to artists through, you know, social media and the internet?
it's something I'm kind of still getting used to. Like, I don't really like the fact that people are like looking, trying to see my every move and trying to, because it's kind of crazy. Like, I have to think about that now. Like, I have to think about what I post and how and where I'm at, where I go and shit like that. So it's just a matter of like being like smart about things, like always being cautious and shit. So yeah, like, I don't know, like I'm still getting used to it.
Speaking to that as well, you know, we're seeing this amazing resurgence for, you know, women in rap, which obviously you're a part of, and it's so international as well. Like, I've seen you express your love for, you know, people from the US like Rico Nasty, but then also people from where I'm from, the UK, like Bree Runway as well. What do you
Yeah.
think it is about the music scene, or, you know, the time that we're in right now, that's allowing all of these amazing female artists to be so successful?
I just think it's the time. Like, it's time. Like, you got to think about like years ago, it was not that many female rappers, but I think it's just time. Like, I feel like as generations come, like new things resurge, and you know, like how like rapping is different now. Like, if you look at rappers like Juice WRLD or XXXTentacion, like that's a new age rap. So I think it's just like with every generation, new stuff comes, and I think right now it's a lot of focus on female rappers because it's been a lack of them for a long time. I've been thinking about it, and like I feel like girls that come after us are gonna like really step it up. Like, I feel like we're inspiring other girls who are gonna come in the next generation and shit like that.
So are there any, you know, artists or female artists specifically who, you know, you'd be looking to work with in the future or maybe collaborate on something?
Definitely, like, I want to work with a lot of people. I think Young Baby Tate is dope. Mulatto, City Girls, Cardi B, Ruby Rose, like all of us. Cash Doll, Dreezy. I can name so many. Kim the Man, Cincy Molly. It's a lot of fucking dope ass female rappers. I just collaborated with them all, honestly. Because I really don't give a fuck. I feel like we need to be doing it how these niggas doing it, because a lot of niggas are just like, you look at the guys in the game and it's like, it's quick. Like, they can collab with this one, that one. And I think the females, if we take our platforms and like combine them, we'll like only bring like everything that we have. So
yeah, I think it's important to reference that you're an artist from the South, obviously an area that has such an amazing like long line of rap music. I was wondering, are there any sort of Southern rap artists who are particularly, you know, impactful, or who you like to reference in your work, that sort of thing?
yeah, like my mama, she used to put me on a lot. Like UGK was hard, Webby, Boosie. I think it's just something about Southern rappers that just get it. Like, I don't know if it's just we're heavily cultured, but I just think even as a kid, like it just naturally, music was naturally a thing to me. So I think coming from the South does enhance a lot of things, because you don't have the same style as like everybody from the South, but it's kind of like the same little slang with everybody for real.
Yeah, in reference to obviously your background in Alabama, growing up there, how did that, you know, impact you wanting to get into rap music, wanting to become a rapper?
I just really always wanted to be a rapper since, like, when I was 9, I wanted to sing, but then when I turned 11, I wanted to be a rapper. So it's just, it really wasn't the South. It was like TV shows. Like 106 in Park was a show that I grew up on heavily. So like watching that, the top 10, like just anticipating, always seeing young people like follow their dreams, like that made me want to do it. And then of course, being from Alabama, you know, I grew up in the church. I grew up singing and always around music. So, you know, growing up in that household, and my mom, she listened to young stuff. So like even now she still listens to young people music. So we always was like on it with the songs and shit. So
what do your, you know, family, you know, the people around you, your friends, what do they think of your, you know, your massive success that you're having, like at such a young age as well?
Oh, they're so happy. Like my mom is so proud. It's crazy. Like she changed her Instagram name to Flo Milli's mom and everything. Like, she cusses people out on YouTube. Like if you go on my videos, you'll see it. Like she really go hard, but they're really just proud because I've always spoke it. Like even as a kid, like I used to dance in the kitchen, like coming home from school, telling my mom I'm gonna be famous and shit. So like the fact that it's actually happening, like I think she's really proud and she's just proud. Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of want to bring it to, you know, some sort of current events that are happening in the industry right now, just to get your thoughts on those. I know like artists, especially a lot of, you know, Black artists in hip hop are being quite vocal around, you know, contracts, like working with labels, making sure that they get fair compensation for their work. I was wondering if you could share thoughts on, you know, what the business side of the industry is like for, you know, Black artists like yourself, and how we can make things fairer for those who are like up and coming.
The advice I would give up and coming is like definitely like come into the game like with representation, like have somebody that you trust to go with you places to, you know, look over things. Like don't just go in blindsided, because my advice would just be to, you know, always have good people, supporting people around you, you know, people that's gonna push you, because you can't do it alone, like at all. Like you can be independent, but I'm saying like you're gonna need that encouragement, you're gonna need all of that shit. People that know shit that you don't know. So yeah, that's the advice I would give.
Kind of referencing something that we talked about previously, I was seeing online that, you know, you attended some of like the Black Lives Matter protests, and you've been really active in, you know, some of the social stuff that's going on in your community in America as a whole. You know, what's it been like, you know, being part of that, kind of being out on the streets and in that sort of way?
It was very empowering. Like I never felt something so intense in my life, and the fact that like I got to live through that, you know, like it shouldn't be something that we happy about, but it's crazy that I got to kind of get a taste of like what my ancestors was dealing with years ago. So I feel like I pretty much had to step up and like use my platform for a good thing, because, you know, I am Black, so I do deal with those issues as well. And I feel like, you know, it was only right to just give back to the community and do what was right. So
yeah. So bringing it back to the mixtape as well, I kind of wanted to talk about, you know, some particular songs that you have on there, just kind of to get you to sort of break those down, tell me a bit about the process and what made you sort of go with that sound. One of the ones that people have really been talking about in terms of the production is May I. I've seen people reference like Missy Elliott, that kind of thing. So what was, you know, the process for that one like? How did you get that one together?
It was very fun. Like, really, my process is just smoking a blunt and just letting the beat play. So, I think we was in Atlanta with that one, and me and my engineer, we just rock out. We just lock in, and we make sure that I'm comfortable and that everything that I'm thinking about like comes to light. Cause we always like to visualize before we even sit down and shit. As far as like the production and everything, like, we definitely wanted to match it with what everybody was saying. Like I've heard a lot of Mean Girl references towards it, so I think that's pretty dope, you know. But I had to stay away from like the school shit because we already did that in the party.
In regards to that you mentioned, actually, you know, I've seen people like describe your sound as like kind of like cheerleader rap, like, you know, that Mean Girl kind of rap, like with your cadence, your delivery, that kind of thing. How did you formulate that sound, or is it something that's just sort of come naturally?
You know, when I'm mad or whenever I'm like just not in the fucking mood for some shit, if a bitch piss me off, whatever the case may be, I rap and I think about, you know, the pettiest thing I could say that would, you know, piss that person off. So I just think, you know, it comes from just my attitude and my aesthetic already. Like with my personality, I'm very like bossy and bratty when I want to be. But for the most part, I'm nice, you know. So, but it just comes from that pettiness, that inner pettiness.
Yeah, and one of the things you talk a lot on the mixtape as well is obviously guys dealing with guy problems kind of things. So how much of that is true to life and how much of that is, you know, embellishment for the track, can I ask?
It's 100% true, all of it. Like every song that I had, even with in the party, like when I was like, ex dude mad because he can't have it, he think I'm missing, don't want him to have it. Like I really had broken up with my boyfriend and like it was a real story. Like actually, like all that shit is real. Like even with 19, like all of it is real. I don't really fake unless I say some shit like that's really off the wall. But like when it comes to like the relationship thing and the guy shit, that's real. Even in weak, those are real people. So.
I kind of want to talk about, you know, some of your collaborations that you've done already. Obviously, you've done work with like Trap Beckham before, and then I know you've got a song with Say Grace. How did, you know, those collaborations come about, and what was your process sort of going into that?
I think my homeboy from Alabama actually linked me with Trap Beckham because he knew like his people or whatever. So that's how we did that one. And then Say Grace, she reached out. And, you know, like, I was digging the song. And plus, my best friend, like, it was so funny because I caught my best friend listening to the Say Grace song. But she didn't know I was going to be, like, featured on it. So I'm like, oh, that shit is dope. Like, so, yeah, that it just came with them reaching out to my team and shit. And we just locked in and recorded it.
I was going to say as well. So, yeah, so me as a listener, like in Britain, I know that you're massive over here. Same thing for so many other countries. Is there anywhere that, you know, you put, yeah, like honestly, like you're massive everywhere. Like I even have friends like in like Nigeria who like listen to you. Literally, yes.
That's crazy.
So like maybe when all this is over kind of thing, you ever wanting to, you know, do some trips over there, do some international touring, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I've always said I want to go to Africa. That's where I want to go first. But I would love to go to the UK and like other countries. I've never been out the country before, so that would be dope. And I never even knew that. So I would love to meet my out of the country fans.
Are there any like upcoming projects that you've got in the vault, like close to release, that we might see, you know, sooner, or what's your plans for the time being?
So my fans could look out for a lot of collaborations. Y'all could look out for that. I'm not gonna give any release dates for projects and stuff, but definitely I'm gonna have another project coming out soon. So, but yeah, look forward to that. But mostly collaborations coming.
Yeah, it's been amazing to speak to you. Like honestly, your work is so interesting.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it.